Good afternoon, everyone. I am Daisilin Ocedrame, and I will be discussing Lesson 3 Savings and Investment. When you already have the habit of working within good budget plan and managing your expenses and debts well, your next priority is what to do with your accumulated savings. These savings can be your ticket to financial freedom if you know how to make it grow, or your misfortune if it drains day by day in any wasteful activity. You must understand the best way of investing your money in your savings to ensure it grows and multiplies. Now, let's start first defining what is savings and investment. Begin with we have savings. So savings is the starting point of all investment. We will have nothing to invest if you have no savings at all. As defined in the previous lesson, saving refers to the money allocated for future use. It serves in many different ways. It may be used as supplemental budget for expenses or debts. And most importantly, it should be allocated for investment to achieve your desired financial freedom. And we have investment. Investment is an act of setting aside money for profit or gain at a certain period of time. It increases the value of your money over time. Investment, therefore, is the way for ordinary savings to grow substantially if properly directed and managed. Now, we have investment vehicles. And what are the different vehicles to invest your money with? These investment vehicles are meant to bring you to money growth and financial independence. We have, first, deposits. It is defined as a sum of money placed or kept in a bank account, usually to gain interest. And there are different types of deposit products that a bank can offer, but the basics are regular savings, checking account, and time deposit. Every deposit account has a required monthly maintaining average daily balance, which may vary from bank to bank. Second is fixed income securities. It is an investment that provides periodic payments with full return of principal upon maturity. It is a debt instrument that generates fixed returns in the form of interest payments to investors. Fixed income securities can be issued by a government called government securities or by corporation called private securities. The interest rates of these investment instruments are certainly higher than bank deposit and closer if not higher than inflation rate. This means that you are making more of your money when you invest in these fixed income securities. But these securities are not covered by PDIC. So what is government securities? So government securities are debt instruments issued through the Bureau of the Treasury, which are used to finance government spending, like infrastructure like roads, bridges, ports, and services like health and education. GS may be issued in the form of discounted instruments like treasury bills or bonds. Next is fixed income private securities, also known as corporate bonds, issued by a corporation in order to raise funds to support ongoing operations, business expansion, payment or of debts or obligation, and any other needs for the corporation. Corporate bonds have a fixed amount of interest paid according to a fixed schedule. The principal or invested capital is repaid to the investor at the end of a stated maturity date. Corporate bonds have a maturity longer than 1 year, but mostly offered from 5 to 15 years. So if you want to scale up your interest earning, try to look into variable income investment vehicles. These could be investment, and mutual funds. It is managed by professional fund managers who allocate the pooled money with an aim of producing capital gains and/or income for the investor. An investment fund is a pool of capital belonging to various investors used to collectively purchase securities, while each investor retains ownership and control of his or her own shares. While mutual fund, on the other hand, is an investment vehicle made up of a pool of money collected from many investors for the purpose of investing in securities such as stocks, bonds, money market instruments, and other assets. As you put up on your investment fund, first thing that you need to understand is yourself as an investor, which include knowing your investment objective, horizon, risk profile, liquidity requirement, and fund allocation, which are the basis in finding the right investment products for you. Investment and mutual funds come with risk and returns. The return is directly related to the risk. The higher the risk means the higher the return. Likewise, the lower the risk, the lower the return. So it is very important that your risk appetite should match with the investment products you are getting so you will not worry with the ups and downs in the stock market prices. Your risk classification is based on your knowledge and experience in making investment. It may be conservative, moderately aggressive, or aggressive, depending on the result of your client's suitability test. Therefore, you also need to understand the investment risk that can affect your fund in general. These include but not limited to market risk, liquidity risk, credit risk, reinvestment risk, investment risk, longevity risk, and inflation risk. So first is market risk. Market risk is the risk of investment losing its value because of economic development or other events that are affected the entire market. The main types of market risk are equity risk, interest rate risk, currency risk. Equity risk is the risk of loss because of a drop in the market price of shares. This means that your invested principal may decrease its value and lost earnings when the market goes down. Second, the interest rate risk. The risk applied to debt with investments such as bond. It is the risk of losing money because of a change in the interest rate. When the current market rate goes higher than your rate upon investment, the value of your money may become lower upon maturity. Last, currency risk is the risk of losing money because of a movement in the exchange rate. This applies when you own foreign investment. When you invest using other currency, there is a risk of losing the value of your money when its value decreases upon maturity or at the time you need to get it. Second investment risk, the liquidity risk. It is the risk of not being able to sell your investment at a fair price and get your money out when you want to. Third is Third is credit risk. It is the risk that the government entity or company that issued the bond will run into financial difficulties and won't be able to pay the interest or repay the principal and maturity rate. Credit risk apply to debt investments such as bonds. Fourth is reinvestment risk. It is the risk of loss from reinvesting your principal or income at a lower interest rate. Next is foreign investment risk. It is the risk of loss when investing in foreign countries. When you buy foreign investment through the shares of companies in other emerging markets, you face risk that does not exist in the Philippines. Next, longevity risk. It is the risk of outliving your savings. This risk is particularly relevant for people who are retired or are nearing retirement with savings not enough to sustain their remaining lifespan. Lastly, inflation risk. It is the risk of loss in your purchasing power because the value of your investment does not keep up with the inflation. Inflation erodes the purchasing power of money over time. Understanding these risks that may come with your investment will somehow guide you to choose what products that fit your investment requirements. To equip you further, you must also study the various products of investment and mutual funds. The most common are money market funds, bond funds, balance funds, and equity funds. Each investment fund fit each investment fund fits to a certain risk profile of the investor. So let's discuss first money market funds. Money market funds are intended for the entry-level conservative investors who aim for high liquidity and low risk but with fair returns on their principal rate from short-term and flexible investment with less than 1 year duration. Bond funds or debt funds. It is the funds that are primarily invested in group or family of bonds and other debt instruments issued by the government like the Bureau of Treasury of the Philippines or corporations. Balance funds combine equity and bond components and sometimes money market securities in one portfolio. They fit investors who are looking for a mixture of safety, revenue, and modest capital growth. Fourth and last, equity funds are mutual or investment funds that buy ownership in corporations through publicly traded common stock. Common stock is a security that represents ownership in a corporation. When you invest in equity funds, you are buying stocks from private companies, which are put together in one basket under fund management. With your very minimal initial investment, you will have an opportunity to own shares of stocks from big and financially stable companies listed in the Philippines Stock Exchange, like BPI, BDO, Metrobank, Ayala Land Corporation, SM Holdings, and all others. Sorry, now, just proceed. Another investment vehicles, the stocks, or the Philippine Stock Exchange. It is a national stock exchange of the Philippines where stockbrokers and traders buy and sell securities such as shares of stocks and bonds and other financial instruments. A stockbroker is a registered professional usually associated with a brokerage firm or broker-dealer who buys and sells stocks and other securities for investors through a stock exchange or over the counter in return for a fee or commission. A stock trader or equity trader or share trader is a person or company involved in trading equity stocks. The buying and sale of stocks of the fund managers who are professionally handling the investment and mutual funds happen in the PSE through an online secured financial system. Next is real estate. It is a property made up of land and the buildings on it, as well as the natural resources of the land. The land can be classified according to its use as agricultural, residential, commercial, or industrial. Agricultural land is mainly used for agriculture. Residential is for houses for residences. Commercial is used for commerce or businesses purposes like stores, malls, spaces for lease, and the like. Industrial is for manufacturing industries or plants for the production of commodities to be sold or used in the market. The value of the property depends on its classification. Agricultural land are of less value compared to residential. Residential is less compared to commercial, and commercial is less compared to industrial. Therefore, agricultural land is of least value while industrial is of the highest value. The good thing about real estate is that its land value increases every year. So when you invest your money into real estate, you are certain that over a period of time, its value will increase. Next one is trading or buy and sell. You can trade gold or jewelries, currencies, and commodities which you can make money with. As you can observe, gold monetary values increases over time due to its decreasing supply with a continued increase in demand. So you better buy and hold gold or jewelries as a form of investment, but be ready to sell it at the moment you reach your desired profit margin when prices go up. The same works for currencies like dollar or euro or any other. Every now and then, the exchange rate of these currencies may go up or down depending on the market supply and demand. So you better buy your chosen currency when the supply is high to get lower exchange rate and sell when the supply is low as you will get a high exchange rate and make more money. Commodity, you becoming a retailer or wholesaler or a distributor. As a start, you can begin with a sari-sari store or as a retailer as these are easy to put up with less capital requirement. For all trading items, it may be gold, currencies, or commodities, the law of supply and demand in the market affects all its prices. So you should know how it works. Law of supply states that as the price of a good or services increases, the quantity supplied increases, and vice versa. While law of demand states that as the price of a good or services increases, the quantity demanded decreases, and vice versa. For trading to be an investment vehicle at your advantage, you should fully understand its mechanics, principles, strategies, handling, operations, and all others for you to gain more. Otherwise, any careless and wrongly act of buy and sell may cause you financial losses. Therefore, it is best that you make an in-depth study and learn by heart how to make trading works better for you before you engage into it. So, the question is, how do you protect then yourself from uncertainties of life without sacrificing your investment objectives? The answer is insurance. We all do need insurance to protect our investments, assets, businesses, and family from the uncertainties of life and financial burdens that come along with it. Insurance is a contract represented by a policy in which an individual or entity gets protection or reimbursement from insurance company against financial losses arising from identified life's uncertainties. Insurance company is the insurer that provides the protection. Insurance policy is a document that proves your insurance coverage and records the terms and conditions of your protection. It is used to cover against the risk of financial losses, both small and big, which may result from damage to the insured of his or her property or from liability for damage or injury caused to a third party. Insurance offers protection to life and to non-life. Life insurance is a contract between the insurance company and the policyholder, which guarantees that benefit payment to the named beneficiaries upon the death of the insured in considerations of the premiums paid. This has two kinds based on the mode of payment, namely regular pay and single pay. Regular pay refers to any life insurance product that is paid monthly, quarterly, or annually at a certain period of time. Single pay refers to any life insurance product that is paid one time. Non-life insurance is a type of coverage that protects businesses and individuals from accident or disasters or calamity by providing money in the event of a financial loss due to property damage or financial obligations. Policy is renewable. Policy is renewable every year, which can be paid monthly, quarterly, or yearly. When you get insurance, here are the things that you need to consider. First, protect the breadwinner of the family, assets, business, and family members. The breadwinner is the financial provider of the family, so without him or her, the family could suffer financially. So he or she must be protected with life insurance so that in case of loss of life, the family will not be financially troubled. Second, your total guaranteed life insurance coverage should be significantly more than the total premium you will be paying for the whole payment term for regular pay, but at least 25% for the single pay. If the insurance coverage is equal or less than the total premium paid at the end of the paying term, don't get that life insurance. It defeats the purpose of protection. Third, the younger you are, the cheaper the premium cost is. So get life insurance at your youngest age possible when you have the capacity. Fourth, better to choose monthly payment of premium. As your cost is less yet, you are covered with much more when uncertainty happens. Fifth, know where your premium goes into charges, admin fees, management fees, and penalties, and the underlying variable link investment and its management. You also have to know the breakdown of the premium cost you are paying on a regular basis. Choose the insurance company that charge less. The bigger the charges, the lesser your cash value of insurance become. Sixth, get comprehensive non-life insurance policies to fully cover your risk. It may seem expensive, but you can actually save on cost compared to getting policy per risk. It is important that all your potential risks are covered by your comprehensive non-life policy. And lastly, monitor your dues and ensure updated premium payment to avoid cancellation or forfeiture of policies. It is a must to keep a record of all your insurance dues. It is best if you can charge it to your credit card so you will have to look at one bill only to pay all. You can also enroll your policies in your bank account for automatic debt arrangements. So all you need to do is to ensure that your bank account is fully funded with the dues count. Getting insurance is therefore an investment of great importance to protect your family, cash, asset, properties, and business from any other liabilities, obligations, or losses brought by any uncertainties or eventualities. And I will leave you this one. In whatever way you prefer to start your investment, please bear in mind that the returns of this investment are not guaranteed still by the bank where you invest into, as it is driven by the uncertainties of the stock market. In some cases, you may even lose a portion of your invested principal amount. But when you lose at some point, you should be patient enough to wait and have the courage to rightly act until your objective of growing your money is finally achieved. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned a lot from my discussion this afternoon. And I will now give the floor to the next guest speaker. Thank you.